from the Keenen Ivory Weigh-In Show, music star and actor Donnie Wahlberg, Olympic gold.
And we're back. Now, my first guest sold over 50 million records as a member of New Kids on the Block. Most recently, you saw him act opposite Mel Gibson in the blockbuster Ransom. Take a look.
Get back in the f***ing car! Now throw out the keys. Give me the money, man. Give me the address. Give me the f***ing money, man. Do you want to see a kid again, man? Then give me the money. Damn it, give me the address. Damn you.
Now, currently, he's starring in the ABC TV movie Taking Up the Pelham 1, 2, 3. And please welcome the multi-talented Donnie Wahlberg. Thank you. I gotta tell you, the first thing I noticed when I went backstage to meet you is the new look. Definitely like, because I remember when I did the American Music Awards, you guys were on the show, and you was like, you were out there. You were out there.
Well, that was the later stages of the band. You got a new look since then, too.
Oh,
though,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had the shiny tuxedos on and all.
Yeah. Well, you actually, when you introduced us, you had a little purple
Liberace thing going.
Yeah, it was nice, though. It was nice. It was nice. But that's actually funny, because my mother, she always plays that tape. It's actually like, it was one of our last major performances on television, and it was during the Gulf War, and, you know, everybody at the show was wearing, like, American flags and whatnot, and I thought it was kind of strange myself that, you know, everybody was, like, supporting a war, you know, especially musicians, because musicians historically have been the most outspoken for peace and whatnot, so I wore a T-shirt that said "War Sucks," and you know, and we had sort of, New Kids had been sort of going through a lot of turmoil with the media and whatnot at the time, so we just went on and did a performance that was like just saying basically, kiss my ass to everybody. You know what I mean? We were just tired, man. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's funny because my mother who loves to play tapes for people when they come over the house, she always plays the tape of that, because at the end of the performance, the camera just goes to your reaction, and I just finished swearing and slamming the microphone down, and the camera just goes to you, and my mother she just loves that moment. She just, you gotta see Keenen and see his face, you know. It's a pretty funny moment.
Yeah, so. I was like, what the? I was like, yo, they've lost their mind. It was definitely out there.
But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but I mean, you know, you guys, as a group, were one of the biggest groups in history. I mean, you sold 50 million albums. You made like $115 million, and all at a relatively young age. You know, and I'm sure that you know can get to you after a while.
Well, you know, I just remember what, you know, my father, when I first started to sing and when I first joined up with New Kids on the Block, I spoke to my father about it, and I said, you know, look, I'm gonna sing, and he was like, what? And I said, well, I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna join this group and sing. We're gonna dance and do shows. And he said, well, the only advice I have for you is, you know, don't change, because if you change, I'm gonna kick your ass. and you know, that always stuck in my head. You know, it was really important to me not to change. You know, to try to stay in touch with my friends and try to stay in touch with, you know, the stuff that made me who I was. You know, and it was hard, but. You know, with all the fame and hysteria, but we just tried to roll with it. All the guys in the group just tried to roll with it, have fun, and just remain down to earth.
I'm sure you guys had a blast. I mean, I could tell from the female reaction in the crowd. You guys just must have been. What would you say? What would you say is the most outrageous thing a female fan has ever done?
Well, we used to have fans doing everything. I mean, we have fans, you know, climbing up balconies, riding on top of our tour bus, you know, taking their clothes off, like driving on the highway with their clothes off. But probably the craziest thing happened out here. We were playing at Magic Mountain, and it was one of our earlier performances. We didn't really know that we had a lot of fans yet at this point, so we just going to Magic Mountain, thinking we're doing a little show, and the crowd was like, the place was packed, the crowd was going crazy, and in the front they had all these, you know, handicapped kids. It was a special section roped off for people in wheelchairs and stuff, and I went down to sing to a girl in a wheelchair, and she jumped out the wheelchair and attacked me and grabbed me and, you know, climbed up on stage with me, and she's running around, and you know, as it turns out, she faked the whole thing. You know, she got the credentials and stuff and came in, and that's pretty cool.
Did you I heard you actually hung out with her?
Yeah, well, you know, I always tried to keep it, you know, with fans and stuff, I always tried to act as if that was me, you know, if I was like when I was little, I loved Run DMC, you know what I mean, and you know, I sort of acted like, well, you know, what would I have done to go see Run DMC, and what would I have hoped to have happened had I met them, and for a girl like that who would go through all that trouble just to try to meet me, I mean, you know, I grew up on food stamps with no money, with nothing, me and my 8 brothers and sisters, I mean.
So you just had to hit it, you know?
Nah, well, you know.
I mean, what would I have wanted? you know I'm teasing you.
Well,
now,
you know, we did a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I know you guys had a good time. But now, I mean, you know, you're making a transition into acting now. I saw Ransom, which was a great performance. It was part of the ensemble, but definitely a standout, you know. It was really good, really good. And now this new project you're doing is Taking of the Pelham 123, which I remember was a movie at one time, right?
Yeah, it's still a movie.
You're doing a remake?
Yeah, we did a remake of it. The original movie starred Walter Matthau, Martin Balsam, Robert Shaw, and it's a movie I actually saw when I was little with my father, and you know, now the new one has Vincent D'Onofrio, Edward James Olmos, myself, Lorraine Bracco, and it's pretty good. It's an updated version, and it's made for television. So the original was really sort of offensive to women and to different, you know, ethnic groups and stuff like that. So we did it a more of a '90s version where, but it's still pretty violent and pretty raw. I mean, it's a television movie, but we pushed the limits as much as we could to try to keep it true to the original film.
Right. I believe it's a takeover of Train.
Yeah.
That's in New York, the Pelham 123. I think we got a clip. Let's take a look at this.
I need you to stay away from the women. And I need you to stay out of my face. Shot people for not obeying me. Well, I guess that's the difference between me and you. See, if I want somebody shot, I'll do it myself.
You like the intense stuff?
I like the intense stuff in this film. Vincent D'Onofrio, he's done so many movies, and he's not really been recognized by the mainstream. You know, he was actually played Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, and he was the bug, the main, you know, the bug guy in Men in Black. He's done so many movies, and he was just incredible to work with.
Yeah, well, you're doing it right, man.
Thank you.
You're taking your time, you're picking the right projects, and you know that. Anytime you put the work in, it's going to pay off.
Well, I learned at an early age, you know, hard work pays, and, you know, whatever I do, whether it's, you know, performing, producing records, writing songs, or acting, which I'm doing now, I'm always going to give it 100%.
Now, what about on the music side? Are you going to be doing anything else?
Music right now is sort of like, acting was what I did before New Kids on the Block. I actually, you know, studied theater in high school for 4 years, and I sort of put it aside to do the music stuff. So I'm sort of getting back to that now, but music is always going to be inside me. I have a studio in my house, and I'm actually producing songs for a couple of the guys from New Kids on the Block.
Well, I have something that I know it's going to make you laugh. I found this. This was part of the merchandising. This was the Donnie Wahlberg doll. And you have a really big fan sitting right over there, so if you give it to her after the show, I'm sure she'd appreciate it.
All right.
You guys be sure to check for Donnie Wahlberg on the Taking of the Pelham 123, February 1st on ABC. We'll be right back right after this. Good night.